Hi, everyone. This is Ronnie Ann Ryan, Love Coach. And I'm here with my friend Moira, the Moira Hutchison, Mindset Cultivator and Tarot Card Reader Extraordinaire. You can find her at Wellness with Moira on Facebook, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And today is our forecast. We're out in front of it today for July.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so proud of us. We're ahead of the schedule. And we're going to tell you all about the good vibes for July so that you'll know what's happening, what's possible, and how to use your energy best during this next month. So welcome to all of you who are joining us and who will watch this later. So normally what we do is we pick some different cards, and Moira picks a couple and I pick a couple, and then we just kind of chat. Yep. So you want to pick a card, Moira, and let's get
started? Sure. So as I'm feeling into the energy of July, like we said before we came on here, we're still in Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde is going to stay with us, I believe it's the 12th or 13th of July.
Yeah.
But here's the cool part about it is yesterday, I believe it was, we hit the halfway point of the Mercury retrograde. And so the second half of it is where we start to get to take action on the theme that came up initially.
Okay.
And so so you see, I'm feeling like July is going to be about action, but in a really different way. So the card that I've picked is actually the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands kind of feels like it's a little bit of a tussling, like maybe it's this idea, or maybe it's this idea, or maybe it's this idea. But the key piece, like I was just saying to you about the Mercury retrograde, always remember that a retrograde is the appearance of things going backwards. So it's the appearance of communications going wrong or text not being received, so it's a time for us to slow down, which is beautiful for July, because isn't that wonderful to slow down and go to the beach more and be outside more? And I know we're still really in restricted socializing, but there's still ways that you can communicate. So that's what that Seven of Wands is feeling like really asking you to get really in touch with what is it you want? What are you speaking out? What do you want to create? Where do you want to be? And start to just really track that, analyze it. Because the other part of July is from a numerology point of view, it's a 7 month. So sevens are all about finding the deeper meaning for everything. So that feels really good.
7 of Wands and 7 for July. Finding the deeper meaning, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, it is a good thing. If you want to slow down, take some time off, take a little vacation, maybe take a long weekend. A lot of people are probably going to be doing staycations because, travel is kind of tough still.
Yep.
But, right, why not have a relaxed state for the summer? I mean, take time off, take time for yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to pick an elemental wisdom card. And let's see. This is the deck I developed years ago. So let's see what comes up for July. Oh, this is very interesting.
That looks nice.
So explain. That is the rainbow.
Rainbow, and then is that trees that we see too?
They're actually like grass-covered rocks. And why I did that was, the rainbow, I'm thinking of the rainbow as a bridge. It's getting you from where you are now to where you want to go. But, the rainbow bridge is made of light, so chances are you're going to have to walk on the ground to get there. And it's funny because they are kind of boulders or whatever, but they're also green and vibrant and full of life. So it's not a hard road, and you do have the rainbow to follow and to bring you there, and you know what's at the end of the rainbow.
That's right.
Pot of gold.
Pot of gold.
I think it's a great idea that we're going from one place and bridging to another. And I have a feeling that's going to be really true, especially for September. So this is definitely, the good news is when you get the rainbow bridge, there is a path to follow. And the rainbow is such a beautiful thing. It's kind of a guiding presence. And even though often rainbows are fleeting, you know, it's like a wonderful surprise and they're so beautiful and then they're gone. This rainbow, I feel, is very, it's a guiding rainbow. So it's there for you. You can draw upon the energy and it'll get you where you want to go. So I think that's pretty good vibes for July.
That's lovely, and that feels very much in alignment with what we were just saying about the 7 and the finding the deeper meaning, analyzing it. You know, that because rainbows to me always have such spiritual wisdom too, because if you think about the chakra system, it's all covered there, right?
Yes, it sure is.
So I like that a lot. So are you going to do one more card too? Because I'm going to do.
You do one. Yeah, let's talk about your next deck.
Absolutely. So this is my deck. This is the Letting Go guidance system. And the idea of letting go is that initially it's good to set an intention to get some clarity on where you're going, what's going on in your mind. But you know how there's oftentimes blocks to achieving what you want. And sometimes you're not even aware of it. And so these cards are kind of like a bridge between accessing that divine wisdom and owning what's going on. So let's just take a breath. And so it doesn't matter if you're watching us live or if you're watching the recording, just take a nice deep breath. And in our mind, we're going to just pose the question, what do I need to let go of in order to align with what we're talking about the love and the getting your pot of gold and taking the time to find the meaning. So what do we need?
Your highest good.
Yes. And claim your highest good. So this is, check this out. This is good. It's judgmental thoughts.
Oh, that's good to let go of, right?
It's certainly good to let go of. And so watch how that shows up. You know, especially, like I said to you, I think that July is going to be at a slower pace than we've been working at. And it is a time for holidays, for fun, for you know, daydreaming and journaling and visualizing your pot of gold, visualizing your place on the rainbow. And so sometimes when we do that, we can have this little, I call it the mosquito of doubt. You know,
good one.
Kind of comes up. And so maybe that's time to say thank you. I don't need to think those thoughts anymore. So how does that feels like it's all meshing together really beautifully, Ronnie?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I don't know if you've read anything about this whole changeover. We're going through 5D. People talk about 3D, 5D. I always want to know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I always want to know what happened to 4D, but anyway, we won't go there. So 5D, I've read a lot about it. I'm not sure what I think about it, but the one takeaway that felt really good and resonated for me was that 5D was a time when duality was no longer happening. And so instead of worrying about this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, it's having a more neutral way of approaching things so that we're not always run ragged by all of our emotions and our judgmental thoughts about what's good and bad or whatever. So it's really interesting, the idea that we're moving into 5D and we're letting go of our judgments and judgmental thoughts. That can only help us because then there's room. You know, thoughts of judgment take up space and a lot of energy.
Do.
And emotion has a lot of energy. So when you can release some of that and just say, well, we'll see. I don't know. Is this good or bad? I don't know. We'll see. That's what happens when you let go of the judgmental thought. Now, it's something that we probably have to work towards. I don't know if it's just going to happen when we snap our fingers. But as long as we're not. Pardon?
I said it could. If we chose it, we could just snap your finger and say, that's it, be gone.
I love that. Why not? It's totally, anything's possible when you really are willing to let go. And so that's the one piece of the 5D that I really liked, is that idea that we're moving out of this is good or this is bad, and just saying, well, we'll see. How does it work out? What transpires next? So
Absolutely.
So yeah, that is really working well. So the last card I'm going to pick is from Flower Therapy, which is Doreen Virtue. And let's see what she has to say. Ah, let me see if I can get it in the picture frame.
Well, it's pink.
Emotional healing.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
that goes along with when you let go of all that stuff, you can relax, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's see. Emotional healing, bleeding heart. It's safe for you to let go of old emotional pain. By doing so, you allow your heart to mend.
That beautiful. So,
eh,
Ronnie, I
yeah,
just want to circle back to what you just said about the 3D to 5D, because
yeah,
I absolutely love this. And what I really encourage people to do is to think of the chakras. And if you're not aware, like pop me a message if you need a wee bit more insight. I'd be happy to clear that up for any of your listeners. But here's the thing about 3D reality, we are operating from our solar plexus chakra, which is all about me. It's service to self.
ego.
Everything's egotistical. It's about me, not really caring about how things are for other people. Now, when we talk about 5D, and I just wanted to touch on this because you said about 4D, where it happened to 4D. 4D is pure heart energy. 5D is pure throat energy. So see those? You went third, fourth, fifth. So this move to 5D encompasses fourth also. So what we're moving to, and you're right, it is a thing of not right and wrong and polarity, but it's also that we are looking out for everybody else. It's that it's realizing that it's not just all about me. It's about I am one in this collective. It's about so I am accessing the wisdom of my heart and speaking it out to the world. That's how I see the 3D to 5D. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I do believe that there is a big shift that we and that's why taking stock and just feeling into it, releasing those judgmental thoughts and being the being and showing up as the love that you want to experience, right?
Well, being a love coach, I'm so glad you circled back to love because, that's my favorite topic. And I want to say that this would be a great time to get out there because even though Mercury's retrograde and sometimes communication can be difficult or whatever, the summer is a wonderful time to meet people. And if COVID is a concern, you can still meet people outside when the weather is good. So
right.
Don't hold back, especially with this emotional healing and stuff going on. I think there's really an opportunity, even if it's just that you're willing to meet people again. Whether you'll find the right one or not in July, I'm not sure. But the idea that you're willing to become someone who meets new people, who's open to the process, that in itself is such an expansive opportunity. I would love to see you get involved and try it. So it's still a really good time, safe time to date because chances are nobody's going to sleep with you and run away. So that's not really possible right now when you want to take things slow and get to know somebody. And, the old idea of courtship is kind of returned because you have to wait a little while so you feel comfortable and you want to be as safe as you can. So I encourage you to do that. There's so many opportunities to meet people outside. The weather is good. Make hay while the sun shines and take advantage of that heart energy that's coming in and the greater sense of balance. So thank you, Maura. It looks like we have a great forecast for July. Plenty of good vibes. Letting go of things that no longer serve us, like judgmental thoughts, whether they're about ourselves or anyone else, right? Or anything else.
Absolutely.
Let it go as best you can. And we'll see what happens next month for August.
Absolutely. Have a great month. Have a great month, Ronnie.
Thank you so much. The same to you, Moira, and for all you who are joining us or were listening or listening later, we wish you a very happy July.
Happy July.
So we'll see you in August. Take care, everyone.